We are the Martians, the butt ugly Martians. I don't know
I
how the
hope that's
rest
going in
goes.
the front of the episode.
Yeah.
That's our intro.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Ig'rance podcast.
We've returned.
Yep, we're simultaneously the
Much to your
greatest.
dismay.
We're back. We're the greatest and the worst podcast on the internet. I am Tashel,
I'm Derek. Hello.
Josh.
and I sit here with a very heavy heart this week for two reasons, actually. The first reason is more ignorance. I'm for the second week in a row. I think I'm gonna have to speak negatively about one of my idols, Steven Spielberg, as I just saw Ready Player One over the weekend, and it kind of made me want to stab my eyes. And I also, for serious time, real quick, I just want to dedicate this episode to, I believe you say his name, Isao Takahata. I don't want to
Sounds
butcher.
about right.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher names, but he's the director of one of my top 15 films of all time, Grave of the Fireflies, and I'll talk about that later. But how are you guys doing this week?
I'm good. Happy to be back. We've been on a bit of a break. We had to take a couple of weeks off because I graduated college,
Yay!
and then Tashel had real life work.
Yes, sir.
Then we did record last week, but we thought that we had a snafu, which today
Yeah,
we
but
found out that there actually wasn't a snafu. So the day this
we
goes
just found out
live,
that
you
I'm
guys-
stupid.
Yeah, you may have already seen this, but there's episode 3 and 4 up today.
What are we talking about? They haven't seen any of these previous episodes,
no one's
including
seen
this one.
That's fine. But yeah,
Snafu
we're
is a
back.
great word.
Hopefully this break has been good for us. We've had a bit of our time skip. You know,
An anime
like,
time skip.
Like that
that
an
implies that
anime
we come back
character, so-
stronger.
Yeah, we're supposed to be stronger. Unfortunately, this also means that, as per usual with anime, someone is about to become rendered irrelevant.
Uh-oh.
Or die.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
unfortunately, we don't have a 30 cast, like a cast of 30 people. So I guess you're gonna draw straws, and whoever gets it.
Uh-oh.
I vote Derek.
Well, I'll be our sacrificial lamb for this.
Cool.
I'm fine with that.
Well,
To
what about
answer
you,
your
Josh?
question, to
Yeah.
show, I am tired. I don't want to live anymore. School and work is killing me.
Yay,
That's
good to
about it.
hear.
Yeah, positive all around.
All right. So, let's just get right into it, guys. Underrated, overrated. Derek, what you
Yeah.
got for us?
Okay, so I'm not talking about a video game or a TV show or a movie. I'm talking about an album.
He's black,
There
and he's
is-
showing his card this week.
Yeah. There is a rapper by the name of Absol. Not too known, but not too unpopular. I just said the same thing twice. But yeah, for people who don't know, like I guess one of the bigger things about him is he's on like the same record label as like Kendrick Lamar and SZA. So that's something I feel like. But yeah, I think it came out in 2016. I can double check that right now. But it's called Do What Thou Wilt. It's a very weird album. Like it is rap, but it sounds like the ramblings of a madman a lot of times. And I kind of like that for that reason. 2016, yeah. So that's my pick. I mean, if you don't like it, I think it's very niche, but I'm going to talk about it because I've been listening to it a lot over the past, year. It's probably become, in my top 10 favorite albums of all time, so there you go.
Yay! What about you, Josh? What's your pick this week?
Oh, no.
Oh, are we doing me first?
Yeah, you can go
Okay.
next.
I went first, bitch.
I mean, second. I'm usually third because I have the most bullshit opinions of all of you.
I want
Try
to end on a
it
good
high
note.
for this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
One Piece is overrated is all get out. God, I think I just gave away where I live. But why? Okay, I want to preface this with I have watched all 850 odd episodes of One Piece.
This is your fault.
It's my fault. I technically like the show, I guess, by the fact that I'm still watching it.
Or
But
you really hate
God,
yourself. One of the two.
It's probably that one. I probably really hate myself. One Piece is awful to watch episode to episode. Because I'm pretty sure, like, the anime is, like, 6 chapters away from the manga. And so they just take scenes that should take, like, 30 seconds and make them last the whole episode.
Welcome to anime.
No, like, that's not an exaggeration. They actually do that.
Planet
like
Namek
30
will
seconds
blow up
to
in 5 minutes, Josh.
Huh?
Planet Namek will blow up in 5 minutes,
was that?
though.
Yeah. 5 minutes.
But
No.
I think that went over your
Speaking
head.
of which, Dragon Ball Z just did something even better than the 5 minutes, where each entire episode was a minute out of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
hell yeah, baby. Well, before we get into Tashel's, I just want to say that you can direct all hate mail towards Josh.
Don't dox my email again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that this time. But
Remember, since we found that audio, you have
Yeah,
to fucking
no,
censor that.
I already wrote down the timestamp for that. But yeah, all hate mail to Josh.
I will
Because-
say one thing, though. I remember when I was still in college, just to go off of One Piece for 1 second, when I was in college, there was this one arc that I was watching in One Piece because I just like to watch Toonami on Saturday nights. And
Giraffe
Josh,
Man.
yes, there was like this giraffe, or this guy in like a giraffe mascot character, and they were fighting this guy. And I think this was in like, I don't know, it had to be in like 2015,
16?
It was 2015, I think.
Okay.
And Josh had left, or he left a semester, and then he had to come back. In that span of time, they were fighting this guy for like 6 months. Josh left. Josh came back. Halloween came. I had a birthday, and they still never finished this guy. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I think the last arc
I don't know where I was
that they
going with
had,
that, but anyway.
the last arc that they had lasted like 2.5 years.
So shout outs to all the One Piece fans for sticking through a lot. Like that's a lot of TV show. I'm not gonna speak too much ill will on One Piece.
Oh yeah, because you will die.
And I haven't
They
seen
will find
it.
you.
I'll
That
say
show makes
I'm
people
not a
cry,
particular
Derek.
fan of the show, and because I don't like it, once it wasn't on Toonami anymore, I stopped watching. And even when it was on Toonami, once they were going island to island, honestly, no. After the Arlong arc, I really stopped paying attention to it. Like that's really all I remember from the show consistently. There are a few odds and ends, but
Was Arlong
that
before
was-
the guy with the big nose?
I think it was after.
Arlong is the sharkfish guy.
Yeah, I remember Arlong.
Was
but
it
I think
Usopp? I don't
Oh,
know.
Usopp. It was before Usopp.
Oh, okay.
That's when they got Nami.
Yeah,
So-
but I thought that No, Nami was the third one they got, wasn't she?
I
I
stopped
hate
watching.
her, by the way.
I stopped watching around the time the little reindeer thing.
Yeah, that's really the end of my memory.
Tony Chopper.
Tony. Anyway, yeah, I
We
don't want
spent
to.
more time talking about One Piece than I thought we would.
Me too. Well, anyway,
We are talking about One Piece.
Right. I want to end on a more positive note. I want to give my underrated pick of the week to Grave of the Fireflies, which is obviously relevant. It's timely. The director just passed away. For those that don't know, Grave of the Fireflies is this beautiful Japanese animated film. It's about these two kids and their lives after how they were affected after World War II, after the the nuclear bomb and all that kind of stuff. It's sad. And I think the thing about that movie that really inspires me, outside of it just being a great movie, is Isao Takahata. From my research, I found out that he actually was not an animator at the time that he made that movie, which is really rare in the animation industry. And so, I just like when people do different things, and I like when different things happen. And so, If you've never seen it, I don't really want to promote piracy, but you can find a way to watch the movie. I'm sure.
Yes.
You just have to be in the mood for it. It's very sad. If you're a person that gets moved very easily, and you don't want to be moved easily, don't watch it. But it's a great movie, and I love it. And yeah, R.I.P.
You should see it if you haven't. Yeah, rest in peace. I mean, I have no jokes to make, obviously, because it's sad when like an actual
we could talk
artist
about
passes.
We can talk about the unintentional joke you made before the episode started.
I don't even remember, dude. Oh, when
101.
Oh,
which
no,
one?
That's not relevant.
I'm about to say, let's not even go there.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
maybe in like 5 episodes. But I don't think
Okay.
we're gonna be.
That's a short time frame.
Let's just move on. Before I
All
say
right.
something, I don't want to speak ill will on the dead.
So
It was 82 though, so hopefully he led a
fruitful life.
good life.
Fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, he was a
Probably
part of.
not actually, because he was an animator in Japan.
Well, he wasn't an animator. That was the thing. He was just a director.
Oh, well then he had a good life.
Yeah. And he was also a part of Studio Ghibli, which is
Yeah.
maybe
He had a great life.
maybe my favorite animation studio. Maybe. I don't know. I have to think about that some more, but it might be. Anyway.
That's a Ooh, I'm writing that down. We should talk about. I got an idea.
There you go.
All right, but we can move on.
All right, guys.
Okay.
So let's go into what's in the news. What's
God,
hot
that
right
was-
now?
This is very close to someone's catchphrase.
Don't do it.
I was about to say I don't.
I'm not gonna say it, but
So Josh, Mr. our resident gaming expert, Mr. I'm going to school to learn about games. What's going on in our industry, mate?
what a interesting way to remind people that I'm a game design major. I actually didn't put this first one on here. This was you guys.
Well, this was me.
Spyro Remastered.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing. How do we feel about? I guess let's talk about Spyro in general. I mean, I like Spyro well enough.
I didn't much play of Spyro. I mean, I played a little bit of Spyro, but not enough to remember it. I'm pretty sure in previous episodes I said I played Spyro over Crash Bandicoot. I didn't play either of them that much.
I was just about to bring that up, actually, Josh. You said that you didn't like Crash because it reminded you of too much of Banjo-Kazooie. I actually think Spyro is
I think
much
that's something
more.
I said, that Spyro is very Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't play either of those two games that much, Crash and Spyro, but I did like Spyro. What was the one that came out on PlayStation 1?
both of them.
Spyro?
Oh,
Was it just regular Spyro?
there were 3 Spyro games on the PlayStation 1, I believe.
On the PlayStation 1, though?
I think so. Oh, maybe 1 or 2. There were a lot on
I know
the
there was
PlayStation 1.
obviously the first one.
He was
let me see.
at the
I
time.
was also a babby.
At the time, Spyro was like, if Crash
Yeah,
was the
actually.
number 1, he was like the number 2.
Spyro 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I knew the trilogy all came on the PlayStation 1.
Did 4? No, that was on
Oh.
the Game Boy. Okay, that's not 4, but okay. I see.
There was also this really weird crossover thing that Crash and Spyro did, but I think they had both kind of like fallen off by that
yeah.
point. I like Spyro enough. I don't think I'm interested in a remaster, but
I mean,
which
I don't.
is not nice to say because I praised Crash for doing it. But
I think it's coming out on the PlayStation 4. I would imagine.
so next year it'll come out for the Switch then, and it'll then
Yeah.
maybe I'll care about it.
PS4 and Xbox One. Why is it not coming out on the Switch though? I guess it had been in
Development for the.
No.
For the
I think that's probably just like behind red tape and shit. I think PlayStation wants to have it for themselves first.
Yeah, but it's also coming out on the Xbox One.
I'm telling you, it'll
maybe
just be
Xbox
next year.
I mean, PlayStation and Xbox, as far as like game sales, are like neck and neck.
I know, but I don't know.
Are
It's
they?
weird to me. I feel like Spyro would do better on PlayStation and Switch than it would do on PlayStation.
I was
and
about to
Xbox
say,
One.
are the Xbox and PlayStation neck and neck in sales?
I think the Xbox is below PlayStation.
I think it's way below the PlayStation.
Back a bit. I know at the beginning.
I think the PlayStation has like creamed the Xbox One. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to even get into that, to be honest. But
I mean, Switch is the master race right now, so
yeah.
Well, it's just the newbie on the streets.
yeah, and PC is just in its own league.
Yeah, I don't even count it in the race. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the PC sales, they're also counting like the indie shit that's on Steam, so it's kind of skewed numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, considering that you can buy games on Steam for literal cents.
And I don't think
and also considering that you can release literally anything on Steam and call it a game.
Yeah.
I think someone downloaded an an asset pack from Unreal 4, didn't change anything and released it on Steam as a game.
There you go.
Is that legal?
But I mean, good for Spyro fans. I'm sure this is good for you. You guys haven't gotten a game since 2008.
Wow.
Do Spyro fans still exist? Like,
Sure.
Yes.
Are there
yes,
people
they do.
who like?
They
Yeah.
do. They do.
I don't know any, but I mean, there's
I
gotta
do.
be some out there. They're like Native Americans.
Oh my god. Actually,
Oh God, what was their smallpox blanket then?
the few Spyro
2008,
fan,
I don't know what happened in Call of Duty. I guess I don't know.
the few Spyro fans that I do know are actually all women. So I don't know if that says anything, but that's just an interesting fact.
I don't know. I'm not particularly excited for it. I won't be buying it.
I don't have anything it's on. So
If it comes for the Switch, I'll get that one maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't. Good for you, Spyro. Come to Smash Brothers.
yeah,
Spyro for Smash Brothers confirmed.
no,
Well, if it's not coming for the Switch, definitely not.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo plays those kind of games unless you're Sonic. But
Yeah.
that relationship between those two is weird.
Oh,
But Nintendo feels like it holds the chips in that, which they probably do.
Solid Snake was on Brawl.
Well,
Yeah,
Snake.
I
I mean,
guess.
Metal Gear Solid was also released on the GameCube.
Yeah.
That is true.
And what's his name? Kojima is not
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if
He's
the Spyro
crazy.
developers are awful. Yeah, he's very,
crazy.
very crazy.
But he's not awful.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo's relationship with Sonic is like, you know how like that first person that you ever fall in love with, like no matter what, you always, even if it ends in a really bad breakup, it's always like, well, that's still the love of my life. I think that's how Nintendo feels with Sonic.
Right. But Nintendo's gone on to you know,
Be good.
like they invested their money and now they're worth a lot, and Sonic's just kind of meandering around. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and whenever Sonic gets too down, Nintendo's like, it's all right, you can come over here.
Yeah. And so
Then
they
Sonic
still
gets
like,
ahead of itself and steals from Nintendo and gets kicked out of the house. But
and has games not released on their system,
yeah,
oh my God.
which is like,
Poor Sega.
what?
that's enough Sonic. Sorry, Spyro. I guess that
I know,
says how
I'm
much
sorry.
we care about Spyro that we
Sorry.
started talking about a completely different game.
Arguably worse.
Oh God, let's not even open that up.
Continuing on re-releases and remasters, DayZ is getting a re-release. I don't know too much about why. I can only assume that it's because PUBG and Fortnite are exploding the way that they are, and DayZ wants to get a slice of that pie.
And this is
Okay, so-
Zombie DayZ, or is it like?
Okay,
I think
so,
it's Zombie
okay.
DayZ.
So, my friend doesn't know what DayZ is. Could you explain to my friend what DayZ is?
All right, Tashel's friend. DayZ. Does Tashel's friend know what Rust is?
Nope. Oh, I don't think
Probab-
my friend does.
Probably not. DayZ was the original PUBG. It's kind of a battle royale, but much slower paced and can take days for a game to end, sometimes even weeks.
Yeah, and there's you spawn into a map, and it's DayZ's PvP and PvE at the same time, right?
There's a
Does
lot of
Tashel's friend know what
acronyms.
those mean?
I was going to say acronyms. I don't think
player
my friend
versus
can keep up.
Yeah, okay. So player versus player, you spawn into a map with I don't know how many people. Let's say 40 other people, maybe more. I don't know. And it's like a city with. It's kind of like a suburban Russian area. So I don't really know how to describe what Russian suburbia looks like, but
A post-apocalyptic.
yeah, I guess post-apocalyptic Russian suburbia. So there are like buildings, but also like forests and hills, and you know go into buildings and you find like guns and armor and stuff like that, and you try to kill each other, and there are zombies who also want to kill you, and the last person standing wins.
Except in DayZ, there's a respawn system. It's battle royale Minecraft, so like it's resource gathering and building and shit. Actually, I don't think you can build in DayZ, but it's resource gathering and base, like setting up a base and shit with a bunch of friends, and basically just surviving both zombies and players.
Yeah.
If you die, you lose all of the things that you gathered, but you can respawn.
Yeah, and get back to your stuff, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Usually it's gone if a player killed you.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to relay that information to my friend then.
All right.
You got it.
I mean, I don't care. Like, I own, I guess technically, I think on my computer right now, I have all three of the big battle royales in H1Z1, PUBG, and Fortnite. I haven't played H1Z1 in about 6 months. I haven't played PUBG in about 2. And I played Fortnite for about 45 minutes, and I don't want to touch it again. So I don't care at all.
Yeah. Battle Royale is one of my favorite game modes because Rust was actually my favorite game, but Rust is so hard to play because that game actually lasts. That'll take months of your time.
I was about to say, I actually do own Rust. I just don't play it because I don't care enough.
But the re-release of DayZ, for anyone who's not like Tashel's friend and knows what it is and like cares, it's getting re-released on a new engine. So like not the Arma engine anymore. I think it's their own thing.
That's good. I don't know if it'll be enough. I feel like now is a tough time to get into battle royales because.
Well, they were kind of the first battle royale, so they do have a following.
That's true. So
they just kind of fell under the radar when they stopped supporting their game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, best of luck to them. Hope it does well. I'm not gonna buy it, so I'm sorry.
And neither am I. I bought DayZ standalone. I didn't like it. It's not my cup of tea.
Maybe Tashel's friend will buy it.
Maybe.
Now that he knows what it is.
Maybe I can convince him to.
That's pretty much all there is to say about that. None of us really care about DayZ. We just thought you guys would.
We do this for you, damn it.
Yes. We are out here putting our lives on the line. Trying to feed our kids, who are also you, but that makes this weird. Because we probably shouldn't swear in front of our children like this, but god damn it, we're going to do it.
You made it weird, Derek. You made it weird.
Made it weird. I'm sorry.
You made it weird, man. So the next topic is kind of big and broad.
And it's another battle royale.
While I'm looking up articles and shit, I can only find battle royale articles or things that are inconsequential, like quote unquote why I started playing games. It's all awful unless it's about PUBG.
Well, Josh, why did you start playing games?
Fuck you, Derek.
Wow.
That's why.
Oh, okay.
So much love in the air today.
PUBG. I think the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that PUBG is doing a bunch of stupid shit to compete with Fortnite. Like
the PUBG developers making bad decisions. You don't say.
Making awful game modes. I think that this weekend's one is called Tequila Sunrise, and basically all you have are shotguns and level 3 armor. And it's oh god, that's the worst thing I could ever think about when I think about PUBG. And like they're doing all of this instead of fixing their fucking game. You know, the real reason their players are leaving for Fortnite is because their game just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to repeat myself since the last episode is actually going to go live, but I'm going to repeat myself. Again, I feel like in a lot of ways, PUBG had a lot of potential to be a very, very, very good game. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
As soon as people get a very accessible game in Fortnite, which has, you know, a cartoony art style which appeals to everyone and is free, and it works as intended, kind of, you know, shoot yourself in the foot with that one.
I don't think a lot of people know, like, who actually made PUBG. They think it's PlayerUnknown's bullshit, but he's just the one that commissioned it. Bluehole is the company that made it. They made awful games like Terra, which is a free-to-play Korean MMO that is, if you want to know the definition of pay to win, that's the game. And then they made a clone of that game called Devlian. It's just the same game with a different name.
Hell yeah. I mean,
So,
from my understanding, this company they do it to themselves. So, like, when bad things happen to them, I'm like, I mean, you kind of go around, like, doing bad stuff anyway. So, can't feel too sympathetic.
yeah. Like, also, when you go to their website, PUBG's not even listed on their website as a game that they've made. So I don't know what that says about their feelings towards PUBG.
Well, they should like it because it's made them a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's also, like, not their idea. It was PlayerUnknown's idea. And he just commissioned them, I think. I don't know the whole story, but Koreans are kind of
Be careful.
prideful about that kind of thing.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, they're prideful.
All right, that's fine. You can say that.
You think I was gonna get racist?
A little bit.
A little.
I got a cold sweat there.
Obviously, you know, the audience hasn't seen or they didn't hear our pre-production stuff, but we love
And
Josh.
so, what the audience also doesn't know is that what I said was actually really racist, and you guys are just acting because you know you're gonna fix it in post.
I see. Yeah, let's go with that. That's more funny.
I love that you think that we'd actually put that kind of work.
Right?
into this
Like,
stuff.
that is way above my pay grade.
Anyway.
But no, that's the reason. That's the same reason, like, Korean companies will take down games and not sell the rights to anyone, because they feel like if they do sell the rights and it becomes successful, that it's a failure on their part and dishonorable or something like that.
Wow. We're getting slippery, Josh.
I've looked into it because
Yeah.
I've looked into it because one of my favorite games of the time, City of Heroes,
I love City of Heroes.
was done by Nexon, and
Those are words.
despite the fact that City of Heroes, it's an MMO. Despite the fact that City of Heroes was, like, making them money, they shut down the game and cut all ties to third-party companies and refused to sell the game.
Well, very different from the American MO of money.
If it doesn't work, sell it. Back onto PUBG and Fortnite, though. Now that we've talked about the stupid shit PUBG is doing, let's talk about the stupider shit they're doing. They're suing literally everyone who makes any kind of resembling game to PUBG, except for Fortnite, because Fortnite has more money than they do.
Could you imagine if Nintendo sued everybody that made a game that was similar to Mario?
Or I was gonna say, who's the dude who made Minecraft?
Notch.
Yeah, like the amount of Minecraft clones that there are out there. Like, well, maybe he did.
Right.
I don't think he did. But like,
Could you imagine if Nintendo sued everybody for all the Zelda clones? That we wouldn't even have a genre. If
I
it
was
wasn't
about
for
to
that.
say, like, if every single Mario and Zelda clone out there got sued, there literally would not be video games that aren't Mario and Zelda.
To be fair, Nintendo did do something like that back in the day, where they basically just monopolized cartridges.
Yeah, but
different.
that's
And-
more of a market thing than
Yeah.
a creative thing.
Yeah, but like any company that wasn't Nintendo that tried to make cartridge games, they would just tax the shit out of them until they'd go under.
Right, but again, that's more like that's a different issue.
Yeah, that's
not
I'm not trying to
creative.
justify what Nintendo did, but
Right. That's what I say.
Nintendo did just like fucking choke out other companies.
They still, if they had the power to, they still would.
Yeah,
You know?
Oh yeah,
I love Nintendo.
They would
but
just
they're the
murder
gangsters.
everyone.
Yeah, they're the gangsters of the gaming industry.
and
I'm
I
not
think that
done
a
with
lot of their mentality with that wasn't. It was to make people come through them. Like, if you want to release a game on a cartridge, you have to release it on one of our consoles. Which,
well, yeah, but like, also the fact that there was no other options but cartridges.
oh yeah,
Like disc didn't exist until PlayStation 1, and that's why disc
thought
exists
Sega.
now. Or Sega, yeah, I guess it was Sega.
But nobody bought the Sega CD.
yeah. But that's stupid. Like PUBG, you can't come in here and basically make H1Z1 but slightly better.
Just
and then be
sue
mad when
everyone
someone
that
makes your game but better again. Like, it's not how it
like
works.
it's not even hard to make a better game than PUBG. You just make it work, and then it's already better.
Make it work.
Like, if someone released a game called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Plus and the Steam description was basically, yeah, this is PUBG, but like, you won't get in a car and just explode.
I've had that happen.
You won't walk around, you won't be in a gunfight, walk around a wall, and then 3 seconds later just get downed by the other person's shotgun when you're like, I'm just not. I'm not
It
here.
was a mile away, by the way. Oh god. Fuck PUBG.
So that's basically
cares?
that. I mean, I definitely think that I think Fortnite is the ultimate karma of PUBG. So.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna get into some of the ignorance that Fortnite's doing later
Are we? Oh.
with their
yeah,
with
okay.
their legal
yeah,
bullshit.
I'm looking at her docket and I'm like, oh well, you can't do that. It's just stupid.
It might arguably be worse than what PUBG is doing.
They might
honestly.
not know. I don't know. But
Fortnite is an American company, so that's just kind of a thing they do, I
yeah,
think.
we'll get into that later. But do we have anything that we want to add about this? I mean, it's just stupid companies a stupid company being stupid.
Fuck PUBG. Fuck everything that they are.
All right. I guess we can move on to film and TV news, which is very lacking this week.
Very.
Unfortunately,
didn't-
like Tashel and I, we were digging for stuff, and
Oh my god! If it didn't have anything to do with the Avengers, it like kind of wasn't worth
yeah,
talking
that's
about.
really all that we're seeing. Which,
Yeah, it's
Star
kind of like
Wars.
PUBG, isn't it?
and we'll talk about the
Yeah.
Avengers. You know, they'll get their big section in like probably 2 weeks.
Yeah, we can
And-
fucking lay into them.
And I don't want to talk about the Han Solo movie until it comes out.
Yeah,
Oh, we're talking about the Han Solo
we
movie?
have to. It's Star Wars.
Ah, fuck.
I mean, I have to see it. I really don't want to pay money to.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
If
I'll leave it at that. but I'm
Yeah,
not
if
paying
I
to see
can
that
find
movie.
it completely legally for free early enough, I'm not gonna, because boy, do I not want to give money to stuff I don't think I'm gonna like. But I guess with movies, we already talked about Takahata passing, so again,
Rest in peace.
yeah, just one more. Terminator
I
6, technically, I mean, I don't care. I haven't seen a Terminator movie since the second one, so
What?
Actually, no, I've seen.
I mean,
one of them.
lucky you.
I've seen one of. It was one of the future Terminator movies.
Was it Genesis?
I think 4. I think I've seen Terminator 4.
Which one was the one with the where it's basically just the second one again, but the main character's a woman, or not the main character, the villain is a woman? Is that 3 or 4?
I think that's the one I've seen.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Salvation? Does that sound about right?
I don't know. I mean, like you said, I wish the only one I had seen was the the first one and the second one, but I hate sometimes with these franchises. I'm sorry that I'm like kind of rambling. I just saw something that distracted me, but I hate with these franchises. It's like they don't know how to just leave stuff alone. Like some movies do not need to be 8 movies long. Yes, yeah, they don't have to have 80,000 films in their franchise.
Some things I get it. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, for example. That's a franchise that screams, make a lot of these. But to me, Terminator's like, we don't need a billion.
It's like the Alien movies, actually, which is ironic because James Cameron, but it's like 1 and 2 are great, and then everything else after that sucks. You could have just left it at 1 and 2.
It's like Alien, where it's like Alien and Aliens are phenomenal. After that, oh my god. And like Alien holds a special place in my heart because it inspired Metroid, which is one of my favorite anythings ever. So
when is the cutoff point for sequels? I think 6 is excessive.
6? You've got way more tolerance than I do.
Yeah, I'm
well, I
like,
mean,
to me,
excessive.
You get a trilogy.
I think 3 is more.
Like, any more than 3, and I'm like, unless, like, what's gone, like, Star Wars is the only thing that comes to mind that's gone more than a
Fast and
trilogy, but they
Furious.
do separate trilogies. And even then, there are more bad Star Wars movies than there are good ones. Or it's 50-50.
Ooh. I was about to say.
Wait, how many? There are 8 Star Wars movies? I mean, definitely
Yeah.
3 of them are bad.
There's 9, actually.
Well, there's 8 Star Wars movies, not including the spin-offs that
Rogue
Disney
One.
is doing now.
I'm ignoring Rogue One. That doesn't count.
Wow.
But
if we're just counting the
Fast and Furious, though, there's been 8 Fast and Furious movies.
those movies are all bad. Like,
I like 5, and that's it.
yeah.
That's the only one that I had fun in. After that, I couldn't. The long chase scene on a airport runway is like too much for me.
And it's jumped too many. Like Fast and Furious in space, Fast and Furious driving on submarines. I'm like, what?
Not in space.
I don't think that. Have they gone to space yet?
I don't think so.
Also, yes, Josh, Amazon is doing a Lord of the Rings TV show, which I don't know anything about that. And I don't.
Yeah, that's what distracted me, folks.
Yeah.
Josh just put a topic in our Discord, and I'm like, what the hell?
But I don't think that there's enough known about that yet, so I'm just gonna.
I'm just looking through my news outlet to see if I can find anything.
Well, that
I'm seeing
raises
a lot about A Quiet Place.
That raises a
And-
question that I'd like to ask, though. Would you guys be interested in seeing a Lord of the Rings TV show?
I don't know. I don't know how Amazon deals with their properties, like their TV properties and shit. If it was Netflix, I would be carefully optimistic.
Tashel, you go, because I'm thinking about what I want to say about Lord of the Rings.
I think for me personally, it is what it is. I kind of just would rather it stay the trilogy. I already don't like the Hobbit trilogy, so maybe I'm not the one to speak on this because I love the original trilogy. They're like, to me, the only good movies from that era.
Yeah.
Every other movie kind of aged like milk. And I feel a way about Lord of the Rings because it just kind of is like King, so like I really don't want to say too much bad about it, but like I don't know, I'm not as into it as I guess other people may be. Like I said, The Hobbit wasn't my cup of tea, so
Yeah.
if anything, that whole rumor about The Legend of Zelda becoming a Netflix show, I wish that was true.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
That'd be nice.
So
the amount of quote unquote movie trailers that have been put out on YouTube for Zelda and stuff. Oh my god.
yeah.
That one that the animation company did, like, I really want to see that movie. I wish that could really be a thing.
So I'll give my opinion, and this is also gonna be a hot take about Lord of the Rings. Not really though. I feel like people are gonna misinterpret what I'm saying.
Direct all hate mail towards Derek.
No, give it to Josh. Like, I think obviously Lord of the Rings is great, and honestly, if I'm thinking in terms of trilogies, like good trilogies, like they are in contention for being the best trilogy ever.
Toy Story.
Okay, yeah, all right. I didn't think about Toy Story, but I was like, okay,
live action trilogy.
I mean, I don't want to just. That's too narrow. Toy Story,
like,
yeah,
subcategory.
But other things I was thinking, I was like, all right, there's The Godfather. Godfather 3 is so bad.
By comparison,
so
I agree.
Bad. And
I agree by comparison.
then there's the original Star Wars trilogy, and 6 is not as good as the third Lord of the Rings movie.
I agree.
Like, I don't. It's the most consistent. I'll give it that. Other than Toy Story.
It's because they filmed the whole trilogy in one film go. So,
but also with Lord of the Rings, my thing is that, like, I'm very much so into fantasy, but fantasy is a genre that I feel like I've never seen it properly represented for my taste in movies and film. And Lord of the Rings falls into that boat because I feel.
What about Harry Potter?
No, that's not what I want either. Because that's too magic based. I want more outlandish shit. And like with like lore and like that kind of, and I feel like the rules in Harry Potter are kind of arbitrary.
Well, I mean, that's also another series that's had more than 3 movies that are consistently okay.
Yeah. But what was I saying about? Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings is kind of just too by the book fantasy to me. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the reason why Lord of the Rings is so by the book fantasy is because it wrote the book,
created it, yeah.
So I'm not really gonna take away points from the movie. Like, how dare you do exactly everything in the genre you made? Like, so that's just my opinion. And
actually, did Dungeons and Dragons come out before or after that?
Well, and I would give it to what's the other dude? Who?
97.
H.P. Lovecraft is another. Well, who? Yeah.
Lovecraft is more he's more horror, I think.
Like horror fantasy.
Yeah.
But I mean, and again, don't take this as me saying Lord of the Rings isn't good. Lord of the Rings is a phenomenal franchise. It's just personally not what I look for in fantasy, so I'm.
Oh fuck! Lord of the Rings came out in '54.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say I feel like Lord of the Rings is older than my parents.
Yeah.
And The Hobbit came out in '37.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
1937. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I'm not gonna take away too much stuff from. I'm not gonna shit talk Lord of the Rings because I really don't like what I just said. Despite all that, don't take that as me saying bad things about it. It's just personal preference where I'm like, it's not really
your cup of tea.
Yeah, it's still good. I mean,
I knew Derek was gonna go there, and that's why I didn't want to even bring that up because I knew he was gonna do that.
So for that reason, I'm not too excited about a Lord of the Rings TV show. Part of me is also thinking that I feel like it might try to be too similar to like a Game of Thrones, and I'm like, I don't.
If it becomes Game of Thrones, it gets banned.
Like it's gonna, take away from action and the universe and all that, and just be
diplomatic because everyone loved that.
Yeah.
Okay. If this, I'm gonna watch this because I'm a huge fantasy nerd and I like Lord of the Rings a lot. If it becomes a fucking Game of Thrones clone, I think I might have to ban Lord of the Rings from my life, or Amazon at the very least.
You can't ban Amazon, Josh. Amazon, Google, and
pretty
Disney
much
literally own the planet. This is the third of the world you can't interact with.
But if they turn my shit into fucking or fucking Game of Thrones, I might have to, or try to at least.
Well, have fun buying things in like 5 years when everything's bought online via Amazon.
When everything's Amazon. God, Amazon, please don't do that. Don't do that. That'll make me cry. You don't want to see me cry.
I don't think we want to see Josh cry.
No, I don't. I definitely don't.
Yeah. So
it'll be the ugliest fucking cry you've ever seen. Anyway.
I guess we had one more thing in film and TV to talk about.
Carrie Fisher?
Yeah, since we always talk about Star Wars.
We do. If you met us in real life, this is really how we are. Yeah. So Star Wars manages to come up in every conversation.
We basically have the same, like, 8 conversations every time we hang out with each other.
Yep. Pretty much. I hope you guys are ready for 8 episodes on loop.
Yep. But, yeah. A lot of people have been, like, starting a petition to recast Carrie Fisher for Star Wars 9. And first, one person who gave their opinion on this, who I feel like is qualified to have an actual opinion about this, was Mark Hamill.
I mean, if anybody
yeah,
can,
I was
it's
about
him.
to say, like, him and Harrison Ford are the 2 people whose opinions I'd want to hear the most. I think Harrison Ford kind of just wants to wipe his hands clean of this franchise.
Don't blame him.
Gotten what he wanted out of it and wants to move on. But yeah, Mark Hamill basically, like, he doesn't really want to see it, I believe. And again, I don't want to put words in the guy's mouth, but from what I saw, he was very much so like, I understand the desire for it, and her passing did put a lot of constraints on, like, the production of this movie. But at the same time, Carrie Fisher as Leia is kind of so one of a kind that recreating that, you're going to be doing a disservice to everybody. Like, you're gonna
don't do it.
Yeah, you're going to be doing a disservice to the fans, because whoever it is, you're not going to be able to do Princess Leia like Carrie Fisher did. It doesn't matter how great of an actress you are. It's just not a fair ask to put anyone up to that challenge.
Even if you do an objectively better job, we're just so used to Carrie Fisher, we don't want anybody else to do it.
Right. Like, it's not a question of ability. It's a question of the fact that this person is this other person. Like,
yep. Yeah, it's like if a voice actor for a character becomes something entirely different.
Yeah, like,
in the middle of a season.
Like, and that's why a lot of characters get written out of shows, because, like, when Isaac Hayes died.
Yeah, nobody else can do Chef. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
or shit, I'm gonna get crucified, but Aku's voice.
Mako.
Yeah.
Aku.
I don't remember the guy who did that. I should.
His name was Mako.
Okay, there you go.
Oh yeah, Mako. Yeah. So, like, and Uncle Iroh.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine? Well, I mean, Samurai Jack too, but, like, anyone else doing those voices just won't happen.
Well, they did get somebody to do those voices. Alec Baldwin. I mean, not Alec Baldwin. What's that guy's name? It's something like that. He did both. He replaced Alec Baldwin. He replaced both of those voice actors. His name is something like that.
Let me see.
He did a good job, but he was just never.
Greg Baldwin.
What is his name?
Greg Baldwin.
I knew it was something Baldwin. Alec. That would be a very different Aku, I think. Alec Baldwin as the Shogun of Sorrows.
I don't want that.
It'd make me a sorrowful boy.
But
bless Greg Baldwin. He did his best.
Yeah, but there's no one. It's like if anybody else does Carrie Fisher, it's not gonna happen.
And I think that with the voice actor, at least the character will always look the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like seeing someone who's not Carrie Fisher is gonna be like, that's not.
They're two different things, because, like, a voice actor, if a character who looks the same suddenly has a different voice, that's very jarring. If a character looks different and has a different voice, then it meshes a little bit better. But if it's Carrie Fisher,
you can't
not being Carrie Fisher, you can't do that.
Sorry, I know it sucks, Disney, but I mean, and they already, like, I think they already fixed it. Like, they're not gonna. This isn't gonna happen. They already rewrote the script. So
Yeah, they should have ended Leia before she became a shooting star meme.
Absolutely.
yeah. But I think that's unfortunately it for film and TV. Kind of a slow week because everyone's only talking about Avengers, which Avengers we're gonna talk about it at some point, but it's like 3 weeks out. I have nothing to say about a movie. I'm not talking about this movie for 3 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
And you all know that we pretty much hate Marvel and DC at this point.
I don't hate them, but they
Yeah.
do drive me nuts.
So, Ig'rance?
Yeah, we actually have a pretty fat Ig'rance section.
And
I was about to say.
we'll let Tashel lead us into the first one.
Oh, my lord. Okay. All right, everybody. So, if you have been on the internet since about, I'm gonna say 2008, 2010, that span of time, you probably know somebody named the Nostalgia Critic, and we talked about him.
We gave him the Ig'rance seal of approval.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
we've
I'm
sucked
not,
his dick a couple times.
I'll never revoke that because he definitely was an
Who gets it for
inspiration
this
to me.
episode? We need to figure that out.
PUBG.
Okay, I'll think about that in a second. But so long story short, he started a website, That Guy with the Glasses, which became Channel Awesome. He had all these different internet personalities kind of helping him out. They were producers on his site, yada yada yada. Time has passed, people have moved on, a lot of stuff has gone on behind the scenes, and a lot of the disgruntled former producers of Channel Awesome have released this Google Doc, which is available to the public. I would say we should put it in the description, but I don't know. You can go find it on your own. Yeah, I don't really want to egg the drama on too much. But I think the reason why I wanted to talk about it, I really don't want to talk about the drama. It sucks. A lot of the stuff that I've been reading, I actually did quite a bit of research on it. It's like a 60-something page document.
Excuse me, it wasn't 60-something. You mean that exact number again?
Well, 69.
All right, thank you.
There it is. You can't discount the 69.
I think it's 69 pages of information, and then the other couple of pages are they have a forward.
Yeah.
This thing has a table of contents. All right,
this is
these
It's
people were not
69
playing
pages
around.
of grievances.
I guess I'll give
Yeah,
it
these
to
people
them.
were not.
Typically, internet drama is some bullshit, but these people were like, nuh-uh.
A fucking Declaration of Independence
Right,
is about to be signed over at Channel Awesome.
Yeah. And I think the reason why I even brought this up is because I do implore anybody that wants to start their own business. I mean, there are just some things that you are going to take time. I do think you should take time out of your day to go kind of look over this, because there are a lot of mistakes that are made in it that that sounds kind of arrogant to say, but people that have experience in this might not make those mistakes, but people that are just doing this out of nowhere might make some of these same mistakes. I think on one of their films, they make those horrible the crossover feature movies. I mean, they are just bad.
No, they are.
I love
They
Nostalgia
are
Critic.
not
Those
good.
movies suck. The only one that I like to watch is Suburban Nights. The other ones are really awful. I mean, they're all awful. But anyway, they on a set of one of them, somebody passed out. They didn't have food. They they didn't get permits and stuff like that. So obviously, if you went to school for this stuff, you would know not to do that.
No, Tashel and I went to school for this, and even with the food thing, one of the most basic things that we were taught is, hey, if you're going to be on a film set, you feed people. There's no question
even
about
if
it. That's one of the most basic things is...
Yeah, even if it's pizza, so you gotta have you have to have food and drink.
You're supposed to typically just have even just granola bars on standby constantly for people. And then every, it was 6 hours? 4 to 6 hours?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact times, but you break and you give people, 30 minutes for whatever food you're having that day.
And
Even
while a
if
lot
it's
of that
just-
it might sound like common sense, on the outside, when you do start these things, especially, luckily a lot of the blame is not being put on Dog, which is nice to hear, but if you're taking on a lot of stuff, like if you are the director and you're starring in it and you're writing it and you've got a lot of stuff on your plate. So I do implore you guys to look at some of these grievances. You know, if you are interested in making anything, just things to not do. I almost use this channel awesome or channel awful thing as like a cautionary tale. That's the hashtag, I think, change the channel to channel awful or something like that. I just think there's a lesson to be learned here. I mean, it goes deep, people listening to this. It's like there's like sexual harassment allegations in it. There's a rape scene thing in it. Like this thing goes deep. There's like people not getting paid, people stealing, funds going to the wrong places. Like it's
Indiegogo mismanagement shit.
Indiegogo mismanagement,
crowdfunding bullshit.
It's a lot of stuff in this, and it actually kind of like put the fear of Jesus back in me because I just recently have gotten more involved now that I quit my other job. I just got involved with this kind of small business that a group of people and I have started, and I don't know, a lot of the things that happened kind of like gave me, I guess, like,
anxiety.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, that better never happen to us, because a lot of that stuff could happen. I recommend giving it a watch, and whatever way you feel about Channel Awesome and all that kind of stuff, I mean, don't matter to me. He don't pay my bills, so I don't really care how you feel about him. I just think you should take that as a learning lesson, because they are like one of the bigger entities on the internet who, they are an inspiration to a lot of people. So if you do want to go off and do your own thing, I think it would do you well to take notes.
You were saying earlier that Doug Walker wasn't being, like, a lot of blame wasn't being put on him.
He's not.
I think that's also because of the fact that he's considered, like, in one of the grievances, he's considered talent and not manager, like a manager, despite the fact that he's taking on managerial roles.
Well, I'll say this. I don't know. Maybe I like the guy, so I try to defend him. I feel like because he is the nostalgia critic, he has no choice but to, like, be
talent.
No, I mean like to have a say in what goes on. It's his face that is he is the face.
And like and even like for promotional standpoints, for example, let's say they want to launch a new like series, having him as a guest on that, I feel like they're like, well, this is a great way to promote this. If we feel like we can get the Nostalgia Critic fans to look at this new series once, maybe they'll fall in love with it, yada yada. So once you're that big of a name, you kind of have to... It's like, I think a lot of music labels do this. Like, let's say you have a ridiculously large artist on your label, and then you have a smaller one you'd want to promote. The label would push that big artist to interact with the smaller one just because it's how business works.
I feel bad because, I mean, I guess this is how people felt with the whole... I don't know if this is extreme, but like with Bill Cosby and Louis C.K. and all that kind of stuff, when it's somebody that you look up to and then they get in a bunch of drama, you can't help but almost feel defensive for them, but...
Man, this past year has been nothing but drama with actors and like the entertainment industry in general.
Yeah. There's just stuff coming to light.
Everybody should just take a page out of the book of Beyonce. Whenever you're going to do something in your career, you should just say, what would Beyonce do?
There you go. What would WWBD?
There you go.
Or if you ever think about touching someone, don't.
Or don't, right. Yeah, just don't be awful. Like, it's very simple.
Speaking of, if you're thinking about doing something, you probably shouldn't do it.
Oh, what a segue.
Our next topic.
Oh, Derek, you get the seal of approval this week for that one. That was a great segue.
So, there's a website that I'm sure that most of the people watching this are familiar with called twitch.tv.
What about Tashel's friend?
I know what Twitch is.
Friend, I think Tashel's friend knows what twitch.tv is. But it's the premier, like, video game streaming website. Like, there are other ones. Like, I know YouTube has one, and there are probably some other smaller ones. But Amazon bought this one, so this is the big one. And...
Oh, God. I'd have to cut Twitch out.
No, I'm done with that. And, I mean, I'm a fan of the fact that this entity exists. I feel like, it gives a lot of people avenues to bring a new form of entertainment and expression to the world. So I'm all right with it. But the issue is that a lot of these people on Twitch have been wilding out here recently.
God damn it.
So the thing is that a lot of since Twitch is a website and they have advertisers and things like that, they have terms of service, things that you can do, things that you can't do. You can't show nudity on the website. You can't show violence on the website. You know, basic stuff like that. And one thing is that they probably worded as hate speech. I don't know. I haven't read the terms of service, but they're like, yeah, no hate speech. You know, we don't want Nazis and Klansmen on our website. Understandably. And
at least not openly Nazis and Klansmen.
And one issue is that a lot of Twitch people have been saying, a lot of big name Twitch streamers have been saying the N-word on stream. Which
people that aren't white.
A lot of white people have been saying white Twitch streamers have been saying the N-word on stream.
Let's just talk about it, man.
One of the, I just saw a headline that had a list of them in one of the bigger ones. I don't know who this guy is, and clearly that's, more pointing fingers at me, since apparently in the Twitch community he's a big deal. A dude by the name of Ninja. I think his big claim to fame was that he streamed PUBG with Drake and Travis Scott. I mean, not PUBG,
I've heard of him, man.
Yeah, which, I mean, congratulations to you if you can get Drake and Travis Scott. Drake is undeniably top 10 artist in the world right now, so
I'd say he's number one right now.
I mean, I wouldn't really argue against that too much. That's a very fair statement.
He's on top of the world right now.
Yeah, congratulations to you. That's a huge accomplishment and something that had never been seen before. I know there are other things. I think Lupe Fiasco, he's really into fighting games, so I think he's done some stuff there. I saw something that apparently the Migos streamed themselves playing Minecraft once for 5 minutes.
I won't be watching that.
But, yeah, this dude, he had Drake on his stream, and then apparently a week after, and I can say nigga, by the way. Tashel and I, we're black, so we are, in the eyes of the world and our community, we're allowed to say that word. He said the N-word, and I'm like, I don't understand. Josh, I'm going to refer to you on this one because you are our resident whitey.
Resident white.
Whitey?
Yeah.
What?
Whitey. God damn it.
Are the rules just not clear enough?
Oh, no. The rules are very clear. If you don't have pigment in your skin, you're not allowed to say it.
I don't understand. My thing is
and unless you are giving a pass, and the pass is only given once 2 members of the council has conferred.
He's not wrong. But
the nigga council.
Yeah. But
see, we can't even say the name of the council.
This is that serious, and I'm there are tens of thousands of words in the English language. We add the Webster's dictionary gets thicker every single year. You have so many other words to choose from. And we're
I will say, coming from both ends of the spectrum of the white spectrum, I should say, the racist and conservative, and the not so conservative liberals, the racist ones say, we created that word, so we should be able to use it. And the liberals are like,
I've never heard that one before.
It.
That's pretty good.
You've never heard that before?
That's I created slavery, so that's why we should still have it. That's pretty good. I gotta say one thing sorry to cut you off, but one thing about racists that kill me, they're explanations for why they're racist. So stupid. It's comical, really. Sorry, go on.
I should also let everyone know that I live in the South, so I'm not this isn't coming from me. This is me living vicariously through Southern racists.
You're a Klansman. You're a spy in the inside.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. And I understand like a lot of arguments that people have made about the N word. I'm like, I get what you're coming from. This is one word where I'm like, I'm throwing logic out the window. Like, I feel like technically you can make a rational argument. Oh, it's just a word. I don't care. Just don't say it.
I guess
Like,
for me,
Fear of the word only makes the word stronger.
yeah, that
guess-
stuff. It's like, I get it. I understand what you're saying. And I think in pretty much every other situation that applies, just don't say nigga.
I guess for me,
don't
it's
do
like, why do you feel like you need to say it? Like, what's the point?
That's the main thing that confuses me is when I hear white people say the N word, my response isn't. Well, my thing with it, I guess I'll give my opinion on like people can say whatever they want to say. And I'm like, technically I agree. I think First Amendment rights, everyone's allowed to say what they want to say. At the same time, I also feel like people are allowed to react to what you say and how, within reason, however they want.
Yeah, you can't.
If someone says the N
can't
word and I
lynch
shoot him in
people.
the face, it's like, all right, you can't do that. But if someone says the N word and I'm like, well, I'm just not going to associate with you ever again.
You can verbally lynch them.
That's just, I feel like that's within my right. Like, if let's say an actor says the N word and they get banned from everything forever, it's like, I mean, you're allowed to say the N word. You just have to reap that consequence. You shouldn't, and this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, and because of that, you probably shouldn't say the N word. Like this.
I will say, I use the N word around Derek because another one of my black friends gave me a pass. Derek had to sit me down.
Yeah, no, we had to have a conversation, Josh. This is. I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about that. Every time you say it, I feel a kind of way.
I haven't said it since, but like
that like if ever whatever you have your alarm that wakes you up every day set to, if just in your everyday life you hear that, how you cringe a little bit.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm Derek's alarm.
So that kind of
that's where I learned about the two members of the council having to
have
confer.
A conversation with Josh. But
I also want to say one thing. Flip, I lost it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
But just don't say it. Like, it will make life so much. And I understand the N word is a pretty cool word. If I'm being honest, I understand why you would want to say it.
Oh,
I mean, I can get 3 Deep 5U and start talking about how taboos makes it more.
No, yeah, I get it.
More interesting.
I got
to
my
say.
point back.
But
I got
like,
my point.
Meth is against the law. I don't want to do meth.
Okay, but here's
bad things happen.
Here's my thing. You can say like you can call people bitches, right? You can't just walk down the street and just call a random person a bitch, right?
Yeah.
So what makes you think you could say something? Yeah, but you can't. You legally can. You're allowed. I mean, I think you are. You're allowed to say that. But like, should you? Like, there's a level of human decency that I think we should just have with each other. If somebody's offended by you saying something, and because it has a history, a long history, and if you don't know the history, then you maybe shouldn't even be arguing it. Your point. If it's gonna affect people like that, why
would you want to do that to someone? You know that this word is inflammatory, and you're going out of your way to piss people off.
Yeah, I think words that are similar to that aren't necessarily race specific,
like,
but like gender specific, like cunt.
Whoa. I'm not gonna say that.
See, like, that's a thing. That's kind of the same thing. It has this kind of the same stigma.
Yeah. I mean, I won't even say that word really.
I do, but if somebody's offended by it, I won't say it.
I'm a big proponent of not censoring myself, but like even I know there are some words you don't say, and sometimes, and even the words that I will say, like what I just said, there's sometimes you just don't say it.
There should just always be a level of respect, I think, among other people. In the same way that I feel like it's common sense, like, hey, if I'm out in public and there are a bunch of children around, I'm not going to swear that much. In the same way, it's like, hey, if I'm in a black barbershop and my name is, I don't know, what's a really white name?
Max.
Price?
John Doe.
My name is like Price McDonald.
John Smith.
Well, I know black people named John, and black people with the last name Smith. I don't know if I know any John Smiths, but there's got to be one darky out there. But if my name is like Price McO'Connell, and I'm in
Oh, Jesus.
a black barber shop, you probably shouldn't say the N-word.
Especially if they have a straight razor juice.
Yeah. But I think that's the main thing I wanted to say, you know. Just don't say like
I think we just spent 15 minutes on this
I mean,
topic.
but it's relevant because niggas are out here wilding out. Like,
I just want to remind everybody that last week the Ig'rance podcast talked about sexual assault, and this week we talked about the usage of the N-word. So,
and when it is appropriate for who to use.
Yeah.
and this is like hard R.
I didn't
like,
think this is a conversation we needed to
like
use.
A and hard R. Just don't say it. Like, just don't. I'm sorry. It sucks, and I understand technically that's probably not fair to be told you can't say a word that some people can say, but you can't.
well, it also wasn't fair when that word was screamed before you were hung from a tree. So, you know,
Like, we didn't have a choice in that word becoming something, so you guys don't get a choice when we tell you can't say it. So,
And it's another thing, like, white people don't have a word that that has the same power. I mean, yeah, we have
but that's
cracker,
not offensive.
'cause
If you
I
get
think-
offended by cracker, you're a pussy.
Yeah, like, you're not wrong.
I love it.
And calling someone a pussy is more offensive
Honestly,
than calling
yeah.
them a cracker. And because, like, I'm pretty sure cracker came because people who cracked whips.
I don't know, because you guys are white
I
like
think-
crackers. I don't know. It's stupid.
It's definitely not that. I think it's because whip cracking. And it's like, if anything, that just kind of reinforces
Why you can't say.
Yeah.
So, moral of the story, and whether or not brown people, for example, can say the N-word, I don't know. That's a different
Yeah,
conversation.
I don't think the Ig'rance
have met,
podcast is the place for that one.
Yeah, that you know, because I do have like Asian friends who say the N-word and brown friends who say the N-word, and I don't react the same way I do when I hear white people say it. So that says something, but I don't know. That's a different conversation that I don't think I really want to get into.
Nah.
End of the story. You know, don't, if you're white, just know. I'm sorry.
Just
you
know.
know, it sucks. Just don't do it though. Life will be so much easier for you if you don't say it. Like, think about it. Like, with the Twitch streamers, I feel like a lot of them are kind of like a lot of times when they say it, they get in their own head and they're like, I'm untouchable. But, like, think about it like this. This is their job, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you work like a normal office job and you say the N-word in front of your boss and you're white,
Over.
Dead.
and your boss is like, well,
It's the done.
like, what do you
You
do
can't
in
do
that
that.
situation? Like, who are you pointing the finger at? Are you gonna get mad at your boss? It's like, no, you did something stupid and you got punished for it. So that kind of stuff. So chill out, people.
It's kind of weird because it used to be a huge thing if anyone said that live. Like, PewDiePie said it, and he basically he had a lot of public backlash for that.
Yeah. Well, I think he said hard R,
And-
didn't he?
He said our hard
I don't
R,
think
yeah.
that this ninja guy said hard R. I think that he, like, from my understanding, he was like quoting lyrics from a rap song, but the funny thing is that the lyric he was quoting didn't even have the N-word in it, actually. It was probably like trigger instead of nigga or something like that, and he thought it was the N-word, which I'm like,
Oh, I see.
I understand that you just had Drake on your stream, and someone said that it's fine. He had Drake on the stream. He was granted a 2-week amnesty.
Oh, please.
I'm like, that's a funny joke? No.
Right?
So that's pretty much it. That's all I had to say. And I feel like this is one of those conversations that it's like, why do we have to say this?
Because people feel entitled to just doing anything that they feel like.
Like, no, you can't do that. So
Selfish
I'm done.
and stupid.
Rant-ish over. I feel like there were some fun things said in there though. So. Right.
So Josh, you've got some more really nonsensical
Yeah,
things
I'm looking at
in
these
this.
next two, especially this next one, and I'm like,
So coming off the rant of not saying the N-word, let's take a trip to a Nintendo or just a video game themed burlesque club.
What the hell, Josh?
For any They exist.
What?
And I did not know that they existed until like a couple days ago.
I almost said something super misogynistic.
I'm glad you didn't.
Oh, I might still say it
Oh boy.
and get crucified, but that's fine.
So for all of those kiddies out there that don't know what a burlesque club is, it's a strip club.
It's not. I don't think there's nudity.
There's nipple tassels.
It's. Yeah, I think it's just like a lot of like lingerie.
Lingerie and basically as close to nudity as you can get without being nude. So it's a strip club.
Which.
It's a video game themed strip club.
I mean, I'm not gonna go.
I'm not gonna go.
Michelle?
I might go to an esports bar, but not an esports strip club.
What the hell are we even talking about right now?
So here's my question. Okay, so two things. One, like I'm going to talk about strip clubs, and this is something that Tashel said. I'm going to kind of air a little bit of his, not dirty laundry, but I'm going to air him out a little bit because what he said I think is hilarious, and I like it.
Wow. Right under the bus I
Under the bus.
One day we were talking about strip clubs, and Tashel said that he's not too interested in going to like a normal strip club. If he was to go to one, it would be one of the like Cirque du Soleil ones in like Austin or Atlanta or New York or something like that, where these women are like doing backflips and handstands and all this ridiculous stuff and swinging from ropes. And I kind of agree with that sentiment, because just going to see some, lady with like a C-section scar stripping, I'm not into that. And that's, if you're a lady with the C-section scar out there working at a strip club, I'm not trying to shame you. Like, get yours however you can. I understand. But I'm not into it. So maybe if, like, these women are out here, like, wave dashing.
Wave dashing their clothes off.
Like, wave dashing or, like, I don't know, I wish I knew more, like, Street Fighter terms for this kind of stuff, but, like...
Teching.
Doing quarter circle turns.
Like...
Let me read you the first paragraph written by Benjamin Cook, who wrote this this article. Ben. It's a Thursday night, and in a dimly lit pub function room in Laytown, I'm watching Princess Peach peel off her garters and toss them to the baying crowd. Her iconic pink gown and parasol were lost a long time ago, and by the time she leaves the stage, she's down to just a pair of nipple tassels.
Oh my god.
Like,
why Princess Peach though?
I think that would be another thing, is that it's like, I don't want to see these, like, God forbid, like, if I saw Samus there, I'd throw hands with someone.
These are children. Well, not all of Nintendo's characters, but the majority of Nintendo's characters are for children. What is the fascination with sexualizing stuff for children? I never understood that one.
And so this is what I was gonna say. And hold on, let me get the timestamp, because this might get bleeped out. I'm sorry, people.
Oh Lord.
I'll consult Tashel and Josh as to whether or not what I'm saying is okay.
Oh God.
And preface this
Neither
is
one of us are
entirely
female.
a joke. Yeah. So, Tashel, Josh, and I, we've all gone to art school.
We have.
We spent a decent amount of time around, like, video game people.
More than I wanted to, yes.
Oh, I see where this is coming. I see where this is going.
are the women in this establishment?
Well, I'm gonna stop you right there and say they don't have to hire
I
video
was about
game
to
people.
say, are
They
these
definitely won't.
all right? Not at all that
They're gonna hire
not at
strippers.
all. But then that's weird to me. It's all weird regardless. It's just stupid. It's not stupid. I'm sure. And you know what? I'm actually gonna double back. I'm gonna, reverse being as misogynistic as I was about to be, and I'm gonna start pointing fingers at the guys. I spend a lot of time around game developers. I know how horny a lot of these fucks are. So this would be great for them. And
I'm looking at some of these.
I'm gonna rant a
Bayonetta's
little bit.
there.
I know that this isn't our rant of the week section yet. We're talking about something else there, but I'm gonna rant.
Oh boy.
People, game design people, and I only know my school because I've only gone to one art school for college. The building for the game design kids was so stinky. Like the
Stinky.
Well, to be fair, we were shoving video game design, visual effects, animation, pipeline design, and
motion media
some
people.
other thing that no one cares about, all in the same building.
and y'all stink. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's all of them. I don't know if it's the animation kids, the game design kids, they're the motion graphics people. I don't know.
I'll tell you right now, it's not the motion graphics people.
Yeah, because the ones that.
Oh yeah, motion graphics people no one else cares about.
But Jesus Christ, like when I would go, if I went to a bathroom in one of the film buildings, it was completely fine. Like they were always clean. I remember there was one issue where in one building, one person would go into a stall and just break the toilet seat in half. Like 4 separate times in like the span of 2 weeks, I went in there and just broken the toilet seat in half.
So here's the article that I'm reading off of. If you want to look through these wonderful
I don't know
pictures,
if I do.
go be my guest.
But so our bathrooms were clean, and then if I would go to like the animation building for whatever reason, and go to the bathroom there, Jesus Christ! Like you open the door and you get hit in the face with poop. Like the smell of poop. Oh my God.
That one looks like a sweet transvestite from transsexual. Anyway.
Oh, Josh, I wish. I'm not going to this place. I'm not doing it.
Nah.
Oh, these
Like,
pictures.
I don't know who the first one's supposed to be.
Neither do I. I have no idea who that is.
And
The
the other
first
thing,
one?
these costumes are just. Who's the first one?
Honestly, that just looks like the sweet transvestite from Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know what the characters. I can't remember.
Yeah. And then the
I've never
second,
seen
like
that
this
movie
Princess
sober.
Peach, I'm like, this is just a bad costume.
Ugh.
Maybe that's my other thing. If you're gonna do this, at least get good costumes, right?
With the tackiest wig I've ever seen in my life.
Like that crown.
Yeah, not
looks
fucking
awful.
Not Party City bullshit.
Oh, it's Bayonetta.
Or like have lookalikes that are actually blonde.
Well, Bayonetta's already kind of a stripper anyway, so.
So, I mean, if you're into the video game burlesque bar, good for you. I don't think that you'll catch any of us there ever. So,
And by any of us, I mean the rest of the population.
And again, that place is gonna stink. It's gonna smell like horny nerds and armpits. So,
And Broken Dreams.
Oh, do you want to know what the establishment is
What's it
named? Show me your moves.
Okay, I actually kind of like that.
maybe if they all dressed up like Captain Falcon.
I still wouldn't go.
All the
but
patrons dressed up like Captain Falcon.
I think I'd
That-
support it a little bit more.
There should be a gay bar called.
Show me your moves.
Show me your moves.
Yeah. There should be a gay Captain Falcon themed bar in San Francisco called Show Me Your Moves.
All right, this has devolved into utter nonsense. Let's move on to the next topic.
Well, we're not getting much better.
No, oh God. Okay, Josh.
This is a fat ignorance.
Why don't
section.
you lead us into our next pack of ignorance?
So earlier we were talking about PUBG and their shitty legal choices. Fortnite is awful about their legal choices. They tried to sue a 14-year-old for cheating. That's like the epitome of my dad works at Nintendo.
So, like, what I'll say in their defense, maybe they didn't know the kid was 14.
Who sues anyone for
Well,
cheating?
and my other thing is that they can't, like, since the game is free, like, typically if you cheat in a game, you just get banned and then you have to buy the game again. Since this game is free, there's nothing stopping you from making another account.
I mean, you can ban their local IP.
Yes, yeah, theoretically. Don't get me wrong, it's
And, like,
stupid.
You can't just sue 14-year-olds.
Can you legally sue a child?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can sue a minor
So,
because they're not legally liable for the things that they do for whatever reason.
that's just stupid. Can't sue
Well, you have to sue their parents.
But can you sue the parents for that? Do the parents do anything
you can sue the
wrong
parents.
other than raising a stupid kid?
I mean, technically, in the eyes of the law, you can sue the parents.
For what? What did they do, though? Like, no, that's not fair to the parents.
I mean, in almost any case, it would be thrown out.
I
Exactly.
hope they
It's
go on
like,
Judge Judy.
that is exactly where this needs to go.
I would watch the entire unabridged court case
I would too. I love Judge
because
Judy.
it'd probably be about 10 minutes
Judge,
of this. No, it doesn't even have to be Judge Judy. Just fucking Fortnite suing a 14-year-old. I would watch that in any
and
courthouse.
the judge is
Guarantee
just
the
racking
case
his
would be like
head
2
like,
minutes.
what the fuck am I looking at?
And I say it's 10 minutes, but the 5 minutes is just the judge looking at the Fortnite lawyers.
Just in sheer utter
saying-
confusion, trying to...
And like every once in a while, he just like glance at the 14-year-old and then just like stare back at the lawyers.
That confused Jackie Chan meme, that's going to be the judge.
Yeah. Or like that one black basketball player. What's his name? Hold on. Because I sound really...
Oh,
No, I know which one you're talking about. The
during the
Nick Young.
the national anthem.
with the smile on his face.
name
I
is
think,
Nick
what?
Ugh.
Like confused Waka Flocka.
Like Jesus Christ, why would they do that?
Because
There had to have been some mistake made, because that's just too stupid.
And I love Epic because I mean they make Unreal and I develop in Unreal, but fucking Jesus Christ.
All right. I think that covers Ig'rance. I think that this is our best Ig'rance so far.
We actually had something to talk
This is what the
about.
show should be.
Yeah, I guess this is what's going to happen. If there's nothing in the news, get ready for us talking about a whole lot of nothing.
We'll just flap our lips about
That's-
nonsense.
Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably
That's
going to
a-
go to bed mad tonight about the fact that I spent 20 minutes talking about video game burlesque bars.
Just to remind everyone, our GoFundMe page to have us shut the hell up forever is still
Hey,
available.
Vince
there.
Staples took his down.
Oh, we'll be the only ones then.
There we go. So, yeah. And I guess rant. Who am I leading the rant on this one?
Yeah, it's on you.
I don't know who came up with this idea.
did, but I feel like it's something that we all kind of agree with.
Well, it's your idea, so you lead
All
us.
right,
contribute.
Tashel, I assume you're done talking about the 14-year-old getting sued for cheating in Fortnite?
Whoever sued him is an idiot.
All right.
In the words of Judge Judy.
So my thing, as I'd imagine, I imagine you guys, if you didn't know, you could assume, we're into the Chinese cartoons known as anime.
The
So-
Chinese
The
cartoons.
animated arts.
So,
Have you ever actually watched a Chinese anime? It's almost impossible to watch.
Maybe one day that could be fun, actually.
Sounds like fun.
No, for real, we're into anime to like a relative extent. Josh is the biggest one out of us.
Hold on. Let me put a number to that relativity.
Yeah, well, Josh, catalogs his hours. I'll go into this. Like, I'm into it, but anime is a time sink compared to a lot of other, like, compared to like Western cartoons. It's just a much bigger time sink typically. The only thing I can really compare it to would be like video games in terms of how many hours you can put into it. Just because there's so much. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I'll say a lot of times is like I'll watch something, or I'll start to watch something and I'll stop watching it because I get bored of it or it pisses me off or something like that. And I'm like, I think X show is bad. And oftentimes a response I would get from a big anime fan is, well, if you read the manga, all of your concerns are actually addressed there. And my response is no.
It's like the Star Wars people that are always defending the stupid shit in the movies. Well, you had to read this book and you got to watch this cartoon. No.
I will say, I don't know if you watched this, Derek, but I introduced you to him a little while ago, Giguk.
Nope, no, I haven't seen, other than the one thing you showed me.
Okay. Giguk made an episode kind of like ranting on what you're ranting about, how adaptations of anime should be taken as their own thing. Yeah, that's what I was going
to say. Like,
yeah, however, in anime, they're usually not.
I don't think that's fair, though. Like, if I say that the anime of something is bad, like, let's say, I'm just going to go with X because I don't want to step on any toes with this because I feel like we've already...
We sure have.
Yeah, put our necks out there enough. If I say that show X, which is based off of an anime, if I say anime X, which is based off of a manga also called X, is bad, I'm saying the anime is bad. I'm not necessarily saying the manga is bad. Whenever you release something, I treat that individual thing as its own entity. It might be a part of something bigger, but if you released it, then you're telling me that you think that this is quality enough to stand on its own. So I'm going to judge it on its own. If you release an anime, I'm assuming you're saying, we think that what we have made is good enough to stand. Unless you preface that anime at the beginning of every episode by saying, by the way, read the manga, I'm going to assume that you are expecting me to be okay with just the show itself.
I'll even say sometimes people tell me to go read the manga, and then I read the manga. I'm like, literally, it's the same thing. The problem has not been fixed at all.
Right. So, no, I'm not doing that. I get it.
I want to say the biggest example of this kind of thing that I've seen is what's it called? Attack on Titan. Mm-hmm. Attack on Titan, like, there was a bunch of questions left unanswered, and everyone's like, go read the manga. And when you read the manga, it's the same thing. There's just one question that's answered.
So,
but the second season, who should have answered that question decided to not follow the manga, so they're completely different stories now.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. I'm not doing it. Like, and if I was to, then I would judge the manga or the manga as its own thing.
Sometimes I wish anime would wait until a manga's finished before they start.
I mean, they should, but I understand why they don't, because money, but you're sacrificing quality more often. Like, the amount of time that's worked out.
You mean never?
I was about to say, like, FMA is the only thing, but even FMA...
But no, that's totally different than the manga.
Yeah.
And they had to do it twice.
Yeah, because they had to fix it, like... So, that's my rant. I understand that, you're like, but I love this entity, and I love it so much that I went out and I read a 50-chapter thing that it was based off of. And that you don't want someone to make you feel like you wasted your time. I'm not saying that you shouldn't like it. I'm not saying that it shouldn't entertain you. I'm not saying that it shouldn't be your favorite piece of media ever. If, you have this thing that brings you this much happiness, And I'm happy for you. I don't want to take that away from you. At the same time, I'm not going to sit here and be mad that I watched 5 episodes of something that's bad, only to have someone tell me that I need to go read 20 chapters of something else to fix my issue. Like, because they messed up, I have to do extra work. That's not fair to me, in my opinion.
So, I have my numbers cataloged right now. I had to add JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and all 4 of those to my list. So not including One Piece because it's currently on my currently watching list. I have watched 56 different anime. No, wait, hold on. That's so 62 different anime, including movies and OVAs. A total of 2,417 episodes with 39 days of watching.
So, there you go.
That's actually less than I expected.
Yeah, honestly, you said 62. I was like, I was expecting a bit more.
If I add One Piece, I spent a collective of 52.8 days.
That's
just been almost 2 months of his life.
Yeah, that's like...
If you... One Piece by itself is 13.7 days.
I'm never watching One Piece. I'll tell you that right now. That's never going to happen.
That's 2 weeks of my life.
Like,
non-stop. That's not including sleep and eating and...
Yeah, that's non-stop, 24 hours a day.
So the show will still be playing while I take a nap. No, I'm not doing that to myself.
I do have 12 anime that I have dropped, and my plan to watch list doesn't matter.
You and I might actually be about the same. That sounds... I mean, One Piece aside, I ain't watching no shit like that. Because I'm a little older than you. So, like, I've watched... Well, I also like to watch, like, shorter animes. I like things that are, like, a couple episodes. They just tell the little story and they keep it moving. Mm-hmm. And I watch a lot of movies,
I have shit like Hunter x Hunter on here that has 148 episodes. I have all of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super on here.
Well, you'd have to minus Super for me. I've seen everything Dragon Ball except for Super.
Yeah.
I started watching Super. I couldn't get into it.
I have Bleach on here, which is 366 episodes.
That's one I skipped. I never watched Bleach.
Oh, I also have GT on here. How about that?
Well, of course.
I'm not gonna say what's in my last spot.
What is it?
It's Fairy Tail.
Have you seen all of Fairy Tail?
I've seen all of part 1 of Fairy Tail.
I tried. I really did.
You are such a masochist, Josh.
Right? I tried.
I fucking hate Fairy Tail. So, the rant last week that I gave on
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah. Take that, multiply it by 7, and then you can apply that to Fairy Tail.
I actually don't. I don't think Fairy Tail is nowhere near the quality that Game of Thrones is, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Fairy Tail has all the problems that anime has, all the problems that Game of Thrones has, without any of the quality.
Right. I think Fairy Tail is very, very, very by the numbers and basic. It's like if you've seen Dragon Ball Z, and you've seen Naruto, and you've seen, like, even dumb stuff like Digimon, no offense to people that like Digimon, but all that kind of stuff, like, you've seen this. Soul Eater, you've seen this.
I guess I should add my dropped anime to my days watched, because I have, like, more than half of Naruto Shippuden on my dropped list.
Oh, yeah, I didn't finish Shippuden.
So if I add that, I've watched 61.7 days.
Wow.
There you go.
I don't think it'd be possible for me to do that with the things that I've watched. I can't remember everything I've watched, so.
That's why I have an anime list.
If I were to do something similar, I would have had to have been doing that list since I was like 3.
So,
I'm sure there's stuff on here that I've watched that I don't remember.
But I think.
But by the way, before we because I feel like we're about to close out.
Yeah.
I did see that IGN released another 100 games of all time, And maybe we should like go over that another day.
Yeah, next week.
But I just want to say, IGN, stop doing that.
You make bad lists.
For God's sake. Yeah, your lists are awful. Even if I like usually agree with the number one, I don't even remember. No, I don't agree actually with this one. We'll talk about that next week. But stop doing that. Oh my God, like stop. Who's going through 100 freaking slots? Like no, stop it. Bad IGN.
God.
So,
but we definitely should do that next week.
Yeah, and I have something. I'll swing it by you guys, and it might be something we push back, but I think it's definitely something interesting. But yeah, I think I enjoyed today. This was good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for. Oh, sorry, Josh.
Oh, you're fine. This is for all you guys thinking that we were more professional than we are, having news queued up and like a sequence that we follow. Nah. This is the kind of conversations that we're gonna have most of the time.
We came up with like 95% of this docket in about 30 minutes before we started recording.
Way to break the illusion, guys.
Yeah, typically, we take a week and we like mull things over with each other and we meet early and then we meet again and all that stuff. Today,
Yeah, we were a little bit busy this week.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
That's also partially my fault because we didn't think we had episode 3 until like as soon as I got on.
We didn't know if we could record today. I thought it was going to be busy, but we could do it early. A lot of stuff, but we're good.
I think that's a testament to our the way we work together. Yeah, we're able to just like kind of pull something together because we care.
And we managed to wake Josh up early. That's something.
I know. Oh my God, this guy used to not wake up till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Legitimately, I would go to Josh's room to hang out at like 5 in the evening, and he had been awake for like 20 minutes.
I set an alarm to get up, like at 5 o'clock in the evening. I mean, I've recently gotten my shit back together because I have 8 a.m. classes now. But fuck you. During spring break, I was literally going to bed at 6 in the morning and getting up at 6 at night.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so.
All right, you guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate everyone showing up.
Yeah.
Ow, 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 ow. Sorry.
That's that kind of appreciation.
I was fucking with something on my desk, and I pinched my hand so bad it really hurt.
Hell yeah.
I have to say, Derek.
Well, on that note,
before we do go out, Derek has the best, like, I just got hurt expressions. Like, my favorite is still, shit. And on that note, thank all you dudes and dudettes for listening to this week of Ig'rance. And, yeah, see you next week.
That's it. Yep, goodbye.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.